Leon had been stuck at 185 pounds on his bench press for 3 consecutive months. Same program, same reps, same weight, same result. He was showing up, putting in the work, and going nowhere. He assumed he needed to push harder. He added a 6th training day. He tried pre-workout. Nothing changed. I'm Sebastian, and I've got your raw daily fuel for today. In German engineering, when a process stops producing the expected output, the engineer does not simply run the process harder and hope for a different result. That would be irrational. The engineer runs a diagnostic, identifies which variable has stopped responding, applies a targeted intervention to that specific variable. Leon's body is a system. His plateau has a cause. The job is not to work harder at the same thing. The job is to diagnose the problem and fix it precisely. Here are 5 strategies in the order you should apply them. Strategy 1. Run a recovery audit before changing anything in your training. Most plateaus and trainees with 2 or more years of experience are not training problems. They are recovery problems. Leon's audit found that his sleep was averaging 6 hours per night, and his protein intake was 120 grams per day at a body weight of 190 pounds. He needed at least 150 to 190 grams. His body did not have the raw material to grow. Before adding exercise variation, changing rep ranges, or increasing frequency, check your sleep, your protein, your total calories, and your stress level. If any of those are significantly off, fix them first and reassess. Strategy 2. Brief planned deload. If recovery variables are solid but progress has still stalled for 3 or more weeks, a week of reduced volume allows the central nervous system and muscle tissue to supercompensate and come back stronger. 1 week, then reassess. Strategy 3. Change your exercise variation. Muscles adapt to specific movement patterns and angles of mechanical tension. Your body becomes efficient at movements it repeats frequently. Efficiency means less stimulus, not more. Switching from flat bench to incline bench for 4 to 6 weeks introduces a different angle that targets the upper chest and challenges the shoulder stabilizers differently. Switching from conventional deadlift to sumo shifts the load from the lower back and hamstrings toward the hips and inner thighs. 4 to 6 weeks on the variation. Then returning to the original movement often produces immediate strength gains because the variation developed weak points the original movement could not reach. Strategy 4. Adjust your rep range. Your muscles contain a mix of fiber types that respond differently to different loading schemes. If you have been training in the 8 to 12 rep range, your body has adapted to moderate mechanical tension. Shifting to 3 to 5 reps for 4 to 6 weeks challenges a completely different energy system and recruits the highest threshold motor units under heavy load. Shifting to 15 to 20 reps introduces metabolic stress through a different hypertrophy pathway. Neither is better permanently. Each breaks accommodation when the body has stopped responding to the current range. Strategy 5. Increase frequency for the lagging body part. Muscle protein synthesis peaks 24 to 48 hours after training and declines significantly by 72 hours. A muscle trained once per week receives 1 synthesis peak per 7 days. Training it twice per week doubles those peaks. If your chest has been trained once weekly and has stopped growing, adding a 2nd session specifically for that body part frequently breaks the plateau without requiring any other change. Leon fixed his sleep to 8 hours and raised his protein to 160 grams. He switched from flat bench to incline press for 4 weeks. When he returned to flat bench, he pressed 195 pounds for the same reps he had been doing at 185. The plateau broke not because he pushed harder at the same problem. It broke because he diagnosed the actual cause and applied the right intervention. I'm Sebastian, and that's your raw daily fuel. Remember, in German engineering we say that a well-diagnosed problem is already half solved. Audit first, intervene precisely, trust the process. If this gave you a systematic approach to a problem that has been frustrating you, subscribe to Raw Daily Fuel. Diverse voices, global perspectives, one mission. Giving you the tools to diagnose and solve the problems standing between you and your results.